Welcome back to Sparrow's Nest Farm and to the meal prep series. You will probably see this video before you see some of the other videos in the series, but for those of you that are new, I just finished prepping 10 freezer meals. I got them all in the freezer, and over the next several weeks I'll be pulling them out and showing the entire process from packaging to cooking to serving and what I choose to serve with. Now, what that has left me with was a lot of chopped vegetables. And I actually did that on purpose because I wanted to do some ferments. Now, fermentation is something I have been interested in for quite some time. I've tried it several times and failed miserably over and over again, until I was just terribly frustrated, and I begged Wit to let me purchase the Mason Tops system, and finally had my first successful ferment. So I am thankful to have this. I am ready to get some more ferments in our lives, and with that, let's get started on how to do this. Now the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to mix up the brine. For this, I have a half-gallon jar that is filled pretty much all the way up here. So that's 2 quarts, and I am going to add 4 teaspoons of Redmond real salt per quart. So that's 8 teaspoons that I'm going to put into this jar to get this brine going. The reason that we choose Redmond real salt is because, one, it is mined in the United States, in Utah, and 2, it has all of the minerals your body needs, all of its natural minerals. 3, I have to concentrate on counting or else I'll miss. 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. All right, and I'm actually going to ask my lovely assistant to grab a wooden spoon for me so that this can get stirred up. And I'm going to put that aside. Now I'm going to start with carrots. Carrots are a higher sugar food, so the fermentation takes a little longer, but from what I've been told, fermented carrots are just amazing. I've never been successful at it, so I'm hoping that this will be my first time. I think I've got about a pint of carrots left. Oops. So I'm just going to fill up my jar, and you want to get in there and poke around and make sure you're filling this jar as tightly packed as you can get it. If you have any air bubbles in it at all, it may not work properly. You may get some mold because your weight won't sit on top. So just going to get that packed in there really tight. Isn't my assistant lovely? All right, now I've pushed that really good down in there. And if my assistant will put the spoon here for me.
Okay, it's still a lot on the bottom there, you see?
Yeah, I know. It'll be all right. All right, so I am going to pour this water and hopefully not spill it all over. I'm going to pour it just to above the carrots You want
probably get a spill.
You want the carrots to be fully covered by the brine, and you can use this pounder, this pickle pounder, I think is what they call it, and really push those carrots in there, move it around, make sure you've got all the air bubbles out and they're nice and packed in. Hey, that worked. All right, now the next thing you need is a pickle puck. Some of the newer kits you get, they actually have nice little handles. These do not, which is fine. So you're going to put the pickle puck in there. Oh, and there it goes spilling. So the puck is just below the brine, and all of the carrots are underneath the water. And then this pickle pipe is one of the reasons that this system works so well. It has a valve that releases gases, so you don't have to burp these, which is part of why I always failed, is I would forget to burp. So you don't have to burp these. The pipe burps it for you and keeps that seal nice and tight. You put a ring on there, tighten it up, and you are going to want to put this in some sort of receptacle because there is a chance that some of this brine will bubble out as this starts to ferment. So you want to make sure that it's on a surface that is not going to be affected by some water spillage. All right, the next one we're going to do The next one we're going to do is onions. We have already done white onions, and I have to say they were good. So good. So we were looking forward to trying the red onions fermented. We usually will eat them like on our eggs at breakfast. It's a good idea to try and get some fermented food in your diet every day to keep your probiotics in your gut healthy. And then as your body gets used to it, you can add more if you choose to, as long as your body's not having an adverse reaction. Some people, if they overdo it right away, they will end up with some gas and bloating that can be quite uncomfortable. So just be aware of that. I am gonna poke these down in. Now, one thing I found with the onions is they have high water content. So even though I thought I packed it really well last time, I really could have and should have packed it harder. So I've got lots of onions here that I am going to try and pack into this jar. I don't think they're all going in, but the majority of them will. I think one went to the floor. Alright, and poke that in. Now, I firmly believe that with anything you try learning, it's good to have a mentor. And I have a couple of fermenting mentors. I absolutely love Stacy from Off Grid with Doug and Stacy. She was the first one that really inspired me to try fermenting. And she was also the one that introduced me to the mason top system. My other mentor that I love is Heidi from Rain Country Homesteading. And she does a lot of experimentation with her fermenting. She's always trying something different. And she doesn't just ferment fruits and vegetables, but she will actually do other ferments and make vinegars, like of her flowers and other herbs. So she's definitely one to check out her channel as well. I'll link both of them in the description of this video. Some people are really particular about how they chop their vegetables. I am not one of those people. I want to get it done. So these are not perfect in any way, shape, or form. They are just done. All right, I think that is going to just fit. Now you do want to leave about an inch of head space, but once I get this all packed down, I think that's where I'm going to be at. And we'll pour in our brine. And we want the brine to go just above the vegetables. And once I get some of this in here, I'm actually going to go ahead and stop and smash it and see if that brine comes up to the top, because I know there's going to be air bubbles. All right, so we're going to use the pickle puck and put it in. I'm going to try not to drop it quite so hard that I make a mess again. So that's sitting up there. I've got a couple of floaties I'm actually going to take out just so that they don't end up with mold. All right. And then I will put my pickle pipe on. And tighten it down. And doesn't that look so beautiful? I just love fermenting because it makes such a pretty product. Now, I don't know if I'm actually going to have enough to fill this. I may actually go with this one, because I would rather fill it to the top than have extra room. So we're going to do the exact same thing with the peppers. And these are big, coarse chopped peppers. Once you've kind of learned the basics of fermenting, one of the fun things is to just try stuff, experiment, do different combinations. One of the things I'm wanting to do is fermented cauliflower with jalapenos and garlic. I saw that on another homesteading channel, and it just sounded absolutely amazing. So that is one thing that's on my list of to-dos.
To-do, 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 to-do.
You can choose whatever colors you want for peppers. I like to do a mix of different colors. I just think it looks prettier on the plate. It's going to look really pretty in the jar, and that's just my preference. And I like the other sweet flavors rather than just doing green peppers. But if green peppers is all you have or all you choose to do, that will be just fine. Should work the same and be delicious. Now with these more watery things like the onions and the peppers, I want to make extra sure that these are packed in really tight. Because once the water starts to release from the vegetable a little bit, it's gonna sink down. And I've experienced that before with the other onions. I lost like 2 inches of onion height once it started to ferment. So, word to the wise on that. Alright, I'm going to try adding the brine and see where we're at. I've got a few more peppers I could add, but I just want to see what it does once the water's in. Oh yeah, I think that will be perfect. That's packed in pretty tight. So I'll put my pickle puck carefully. And pickle pipe. Oops. And there are my peppers. Aren't they beautiful? All right, we are not sponsored by Mason Tops, so this is not a sponsored video. I just happen to really love the product. Having said that, Mason Tops, if you're watching and you want to sponsor me, I'm good to go, ready. Anyways, enough joking. I will check back with you in a few days and we will check on the progress of these ferments and I will show you the finished product and maybe we'll do a taste test. Okay, so it's been a little while since I started these ferments and as you can see, we've already been eating through them, but I figured before this jar was gone, we should probably finish this video. So I let this stuff go for 5 days before putting it in the fridge. I started it the weekend before Thanksgiving and put it in about the day after Thanksgiving, I think. So the onions, 5 days was perfect. They taste amazing. The texture is good. Definitely look at the color. It is so beautiful. Definitely, we already knew we loved the onions. The red onions are just as good as the yellow. Definitely happy with that. The carrots, they taste good, but I think I could have let them go for a couple more days and been happier with it. They've got a nice tang to them, but I don't know, they weren't quite ready. With everything going on, I just threw everything in the fridge and didn't really test them beforehand. So these could have gone probably 7 days and I would have been happier with the flavor of them. The texture, they're still nice and crunchy, which is amazing. So the carrots, a few more days would have been nice. The peppers, I really love the tangy flavor of the peppers after 5 days. However, they got really mushy. And I was hoping for a little more crunch to remain, so I don't know if I needed to do them for less days or if there was something that I missed. So I'm going to do some research on why my peppers are mushy and what I can do about it before I do peppers again. Whit's not a real big fan of the peppers, so unless I can figure it out, it's probably going to be a little while before I try it again, just because I don't want to make a bunch of stuff that he's not going to want. So, Mason Tops is a lifesaver. All of these ferments, they worked, which I have never been able to get them to work before. There was no mold, there was no issues, everything fermented beautifully. I love the Mason Tops system. The only thing I wish is that I had gotten a more recent version of the mason top, because it has a way to pick up the glass pickle puck. It has like a little handle on it, and these don't, so that was a little difficult to get out of this jar. These ones were down enough that it came out easy, but this jar, it didn't come out very easy, so that was my one thing. If you're gonna get them, try and get the ones with the handle. Also, the box comes with this fermentation guide and recipe book, and I'm gonna be honest, I haven't even gone through this yet. I should. I plan to. Maybe it'll tell me why my peppers didn't work. But I've actually just been watching other YouTube channels and trying out what they have done. So, if you're more of an experimentation person, this kit'll work. If you like a recipe, this kit'll work. Again, not sponsored by Mason Tops, just love them. Love my ferments, and my ferments love me. Alright guys, that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this sort of content, please like and comment. If you like our channel, I know we're a little eclectic, but that's just who we are. So if you like our channel, go ahead and subscribe. We are hoping to grow the channel and get more viewers involved, so share us with your friends who might like it. And thanks for watching. Take care, and God bless.